You've got the character Adam, he's an agoraphobic to all intents and purposes, but it's not that simple. It's more he's a person who is afraid of being attacked.
He is holed up in his apartment. He's too scared to go out.
And in his own mental downfall, he's sort of created this other vortex of a world in his computer.
The Twisted Death of Lonely Madman is about how quickly your perspective on what's real and what's not real can become blurred or distorted when you shut yourself off completely from any real life or actual experience.
Something truly great about the world today. When everything you know and do can be experienced in one way or another through the internet or modern software, it really makes it unnecessary to have to go out at all. Everything is there, all you need. Take what I'm doing now.
You kind of get to hook onto these little moments within the film where you can actually show what a guy would get up to during his time at home on his own. You know, the little quirky things that, you know, we sometimes forget about, which actually, you know, we might recognise that in the film that, yeah, I do that.
Starlet Maddinson's difficult to describe. There's not so much that you see of herself, it's just the challenges of playing so many different scenes and emotions, but to the same piece of dialogue. After all, I really like you. You know, I'm very fond of you indeed.
It was pretty much, not entirely, but pretty much shot sequentially, so I got to kind of keep the energy up from each scene, and it ran into the next one, so you knew where the character was, his state of mind, in order to feed into the next one. So for me that was kind of, you know, very useful. But yeah, intense, and everyone got really stuck in, and it was great. I loved it.
2 days, that's been unbelievable. I can't actually believe we've managed to achieve that in 2 days. It's been hard work, but it's been a lot of fun. It's sort of just been so continuous that there's no time to even pause or think. It's just, you know, plunging right in at the deep end, but I sort of prefer that.
The delivery guy, I decided, you know, we really needed a proper threat. It would mean so much more if there was an actual real threat going on. So turning him into a bit of a psycho who's on a campaign of intimidation just for his own amusement, that was appealing to me. I'd seen things about that as well, where people go on a campaign of intimidation and they will just stand outside someone's house at night time just to frighten them and, I don't know, try and get one over on them to get a sense of power over that person. I thought it would be nice to have the situation where his flat that he hasn't left for 6 months is where he's always been safe, and now it's being intruded into.
Reading the script, it really sprung out at me. I could visualise everything.
I loved the script. That was what initially drew me. I loved the twists and turns, and there's always some inner meaning.
There's 6 months of sort of backstory of this guy living in this house, and I just liked the idea of playing with a guy that's basically kind of slowly but surely A, fallen apart, and B, become quite comfortable within his falling apart.
I've not left my flat in about 6 months, out of fear.
Jesus.
Editing this film has been interesting because I've found that it only takes a couple of weeks of being in the dark and staring at a screen and not doing much else for your gums to start bleeding. So my gums began to bleed, and yes, I did start to suddenly catch things out of the corner of my eye, little dark shapes moving. Fortunately, I knew this was because I'd been in front of a screen for far too long, not because Amasaki was trying to break into my house.